Smuggling isn't just illegal, it can also be completely absurd. Over the years, people have attempted to sneak the weirdest and most unexpected items into the US, from live animals to everyday objects hiding shocking secrets. These cases aren't just strange, they'll make you question what people were thinking. Let's dive into 101 of the weirdest smuggling attempts in US history. 1. An entire live tiger cub. Yes, someone thought smuggling a live tiger cub in a suitcase was a brilliant idea. The plan fell apart when customs officials heard faint growling coming from the bag. Upon opening it, they discovered a sleepy but feisty tiger cub wrapped in blankets. The smuggler later claimed it was a special toy for their nephew. Yeah, because all toys require feeding and roar like that. Second, 200 tarantulas hidden in clothing. This one is straight out of a horror movie. A passenger tried to bring 200 tarantulas into the US, taped carefully inside their jacket and bags. But things got hairy, literally, when one spider escaped and crawled out at customs. Turns out, these were meant for exotic pet enthusiasts. Honestly, if you love tarantulas, isn't one or two enough? 3. A McDonald's cheeseburger with a twist. Fast food fans, brace yourselves. Someone tried to smuggle illegal pills by hiding them inside a cheeseburger. They neatly placed the pills under the patty and covered it with lettuce like some secret topping. The officer who found it joked, "Well, at least it wasn't in the fries." 4. A car engine filled with iguanas. Yes, iguanas. A smuggler packed their car engine with dozens of live iguanas wrapped in cloth. The plan might have worked if the animals didn't start scratching and making noise. Imagine being the officer popping the hood and coming face to face with an angry lizard army. 5. A prosthetic leg stuffed with gold bars. This one's straight out of a heist movie. A traveler filled their prosthetic leg with gold bars, hoping no one would check. But the metal detector went off and officers got suspicious. The leg was so heavy the smuggler could barely walk, which didn't help their case. Talk about leaving behind a golden trail of evidence. 6. A giant roll of cheese stuffed with cash. Cheese lovers, beware. Someone tried to smuggle a giant wheel of cheese into the US, but officers noticed it was suspiciously heavy. Upon inspection, they found thousands of dollars in rolled-up bills hidden inside. Who knew mozzarella could double as a piggy bank? 7. A suitcase full of live parrots. Feathers flying, beaks chirping. This one was hard to miss. A traveler tried sneaking in a suitcase packed with live parrots, their beaks taped shut to keep them quiet. But when one bird managed to let out a squawk, the jig was up. Poor parrots, they just wanted to stretch their wings. 8. A custom-built surfboard loaded with drugs. Here's one for the surfers out there. A traveler arrived with a surfboard that looked normal at first glance, but X-rays revealed it was hollowed out and filled with illegal substances. Officials called it the wave of crime, though the smuggler probably wasn't laughing. 9. A hollowed-out Bible with jewelry inside. This one might sound cliché, but it's true. A passenger cut out the center of a Bible and used it to stash stolen jewelry. While the outside said, "Holy Bible," the inside screamed, "Holy Bling!" 10. A live alligator in a backpack. Why someone thought carrying a live alligator in a backpack was a good idea remains a mystery. The officers opened the bag to find a young gator staring back at them, looking just as shocked as they were. Turns out it was meant for a private collector who apparently didn't mind angry reptiles. 11. A wig stuffed with live insects. This smuggler went to extreme lengths, literally. They wore an oversized wig stuffed with dozens of live insects, hoping customs wouldn't notice. Unfortunately for them, one beetle decided to crawl out mid-check. I guess you could say their plan was bugged. 12. A hollowed-out watermelon packed with drugs. Ever seen a watermelon that weighed twice as much as it should? Customs officers did. A traveler hollowed out a watermelon, filled it with illegal substances, and carefully resealed it. But the uneven weight gave it away. Next time, maybe stick to fruit salad. 13. A child's toy car loaded with diamonds. This one was clever, but not clever enough. A toy car had its insides removed and replaced with uncut diamonds. The plan almost worked until an X-ray revealed the glittering contraband. Imagine being the kid who just wanted to play but got a geology lesson instead. 14. A live python in a sock. This one slithered right into smuggling history. A man tried to bring a live python into the US by stuffing it into a long sock and hiding it in his carry-on. The TSA discovered it during a routine bag check, and needless to say, the snake didn't look too happy about it. 15. Hundreds of apples sprayed with gold paint. At first glance, these apples looked like luxurious ornaments, but customs officers quickly realized they were sprayed with gold paint to conceal something underneath. Turns out, the apples were hollowed out and filled with stolen watches. A fruity fail, to say the least. 16. A violin filled with counterfeit money. This smuggler tried to hit a high note by hiding counterfeit bills inside a hollowed-out violin. It might have worked if they hadn't packed it so full that the instrument couldn't play anymore. Let's just say their performance didn't earn a standing ovation. 17. A hollow walking stick filled with rare gemstones. This smuggler thought a decorative walking stick was the perfect disguise for hiding rare gemstones. The stick was beautifully carved, but its unusually heavy weight gave it away. Upon inspection, officers found a hidden compartment filled with sparkling stones. 18. A bag of coffee beans stuffed with pearls. Coffee lovers, this might hurt. A traveler tried to hide pearls inside coffee beans, carefully resealing each one to avoid suspicion. But officers smelled something fishy when the bag felt heavier than usual. Talk about expensive caffeine. 19. A suitcase full of clown costumes and weapons. What's creepier than clowns? A suitcase full of clown costumes with weapons hidden inside? A traveler thought this circus of crime wouldn't raise eyebrows, but security didn't find it funny. Let's just say their joke didn't land. 20. A belt buckle containing live beetles. A traveler modified a large belt buckle to include tiny compartments for live beetles. The plan failed when officers noticed the beetles shifting inside the buckle during the X-ray scan. 21. A hollowed-out garden gnome filled with drugs. This cheerful garden gnome wasn't guarding any plants. It was guarding illegal substances. The smuggler hoped its innocent appearance would fool customs, but an officer spotted the odd weight and gave it a closer look. Turns out, this gnome had a hidden green thumb of its own. 22. Frozen fish stuffed with cell phones. A traveler tried smuggling cell phones by hiding them inside frozen fish. The phones were wrapped in plastic and stuffed into the fish's belly, then frozen to keep everything intact. Customs officials noticed the unusual bulkiness and cracked the case. Literally. Imagine explaining this one. I'm just a big fan of tech-savvy seafood. 23. A suitcase with a live monkey hidden inside. A passenger managed to sneak a live monkey into their luggage, but their plan fell apart when the little guy got restless and started making noise. When officers opened the suitcase, they found the monkey clinging to a pile of clothes, looking thoroughly unimpressed. 24. A drone disguised as a toy plane. Smugglers turned a children's toy into a high-tech contraband delivery system by hiding a drone inside a toy plane. It might have worked if not for a curious officer who noticed the plane looked far too advanced for a child. High hopes. Grounded fast. 25. A hollowed-out chocolate bunny stuffed with diamonds. This sweet treat had a secret center. A smuggler hid diamonds inside a hollow chocolate bunny and carefully resealed it to avoid suspicion. But customs officers noticed the bunny's unusual weight and discovered the sparkling surprise. Looks like their plan melted under pressure. 26. A laptop case with live tarantulas. A traveler packed live tarantulas into the compartments of a laptop case, hoping the case's professional appearance would go unnoticed. The spiders were discovered when one escaped during inspection. 27. A child's backpack stuffed with rare coins. This smuggler thought hiding rare coins in a child's cartoon backpack would make it less suspicious. But the bag was so heavy even the child couldn't lift it. Customs officers quickly uncovered the treasure trove and confiscated the stash. 28. A fake pregnant belly filled with drugs. In one of the strangest attempts, a traveler wore a fake pregnancy belly stuffed with illegal substances. The plan might have worked if the pregnant smuggler hadn't acted so nervous when questioned. Talk about a delivery that didn't go as planned. 29. A suitcase lined with exotic beetles. A traveler tried to smuggle dozens of rare beetles by gluing them to the lining of their suitcase. The problem? Some of the beetles started moving, and customs officers quickly uncovered the creepy crawly scheme. 30. A hollowed-out set of golf clubs filled with gold. Golf enthusiasts, take note. A smuggler hollowed out their golf clubs and filled them with gold bars, thinking no one would suspect a sporty traveler. But the X-ray machine told a different story, and customs officers scored a hole-in-one. What's the weirdest thing you've heard so far? Let us know in the comments. And trust me, we're not even halfway through this list of bizarre smuggling attempts. 31. Live frogs hidden in shampoo bottles. This smuggler thought shampoo bottles were the perfect camouflage for transporting live frogs. The frogs were sealed in water-filled containers, but their croaking gave them away. Imagine opening your toiletry bag and finding your moisturizing shampoo hopping around. 32. A bouquet of flowers stuffed with cash. Romantic? Not quite. A traveler tried smuggling thousands of dollars by stuffing the bills into the stems of artificial flowers. Customs officers found it suspicious that the bouquet weighed as much as a brick. Turns out, love isn't the only thing that grows. 33. A stuffed teddy bear loaded with contraband. A cute and cuddly teddy bear turned out to be the least innocent thing in a traveler's suitcase. Its stuffing was replaced with illegal items, but the stitches looked a little too fresh. Imagine trying to explain to customs why your bear has no fluff. 34. A wedding cake packed with jewelry? A smuggler baked a fake wedding cake, complete with icing and decorations, but hid stolen jewelry inside the layers. The ruse fell apart when officers noticed the cake wasn't as heavy as it should be. I guess you could say this one crumbled under scrutiny. 35. A car door filled with exotic fish. This smuggler went all out, filling their car door panels with water and exotic fish. It was a genius idea until one of the panels started leaking. Customs officers quickly discovered the aquatic cargo and gave the fish a new home, outside of a car. 36. A live falcon strapped under a coat. A traveler tried to smuggle a live falcon by strapping it under their coat. The bird remained surprisingly calm until officers heard faint flapping noises. Turns out, even majestic birds of prey can't escape the long arm of the law. 37. A suitcase stuffed with wigs made from human hair. This bizarre attempt involved a suitcase filled entirely with wigs made from unprocessed human hair. Customs officials were suspicious of the unusual quantity and discovered that the hair wasn't properly declared. Hair today, gone tomorrow. 38. A fake soda can containing rare gems. This smuggler hollowed out a soda can and filled it with rare gemstones, carefully sealing it to look unopened. The plan was almost flawless, but officers noticed the can wasn't the right weight for its size. Lesson learned. Never underestimate a good X-ray machine. 39. A hollow surfboard stuffed with baby turtles. Surf's up, and so are the turtles. A smuggler hid baby turtles inside a hollow surfboard, hoping to bypass detection. But the smell of seawater tipped off customs, and the tiny stowaways were rescued. 40. A hollow loaf of bread packed with gold coins. This loaf of bread was anything but wholesome. A traveler hollowed it out and packed it with gold coins, then resealed it with glue. Customs officers found it suspiciously heavy, and their hunch paid off. Looks like someone was trying to make a rich sandwich. 41. A live kangaroo hidden in a shipping crate. This smuggler thought a kangaroo could be shipped as farm equipment. Customs officers became suspicious when they heard thumping noises inside the crate. The little guy was unharmed, but the officers were left scratching their heads. Who even tries to smuggle a kangaroo? 42. A guitar packed with cocaine. A smuggler hollowed out their guitar and stuffed it with cocaine, thinking no one would notice. The problem? The guitar's weight was completely off, and when customs checked, their solo performance came to an abrupt end. 43. A suitcase filled with mannequin parts. At first, this just seemed creepy. Who travels with a suitcase of mannequin arms and legs? But upon closer inspection, customs discovered the hollow limbs were stuffed with illegal pills. This bizarre model didn't make it past security. 44. A cake with live cockroaches hidden inside. This smuggling attempt was as gross as it sounds. A traveler baked live cockroaches into a cake to avoid detection. Customs officers found the movement inside suspicious, literally, and quickly uncovered the crawling secret. Talk about a cake no one wants a slice of. 45. A pair of shoes lined with rare bird eggs. A traveler tried to smuggle rare bird eggs by lining the inside of their shoes with them. It worked, until an officer noticed the awkward gait and decided to investigate. The smuggler's explanation? They're for my omelet. Sure. 46. A suitcase with false bottom compartments for live snakes. This smuggler added false bottom compartments to their suitcase to hide live snakes. The plan slithered to failure when one snake managed to escape and startled everyone at the checkpoint. 47. A live cat hidden in a handbag. A traveler tried to sneak a cat into the US by hiding it in their oversized handbag. The plan might have worked, except the cat let out a loud meow right in front of customs. Imagine the officer's face when they unzipped the bag and saw two big eyes staring back. 48. A bouquet of balloons filled with helium and pills. This one was creative. A smuggler filled helium balloons with pills, then tied them together into a cheerful bouquet. Unfortunately for them, the balloons didn't float quite right, and officers quickly spotted the issue. Looks like this party got deflated. 49. A Bible stuffed with live scorpions. This smuggler went from holy to horrifying. They hollowed out a Bible and packed it with live scorpions, which were meant to be sold to exotic pet collectors. Customs officers were shocked when one of the scorpions crawled out during inspection. 50. A live crab hidden in a handbag. A traveler thought they could smuggle a live crab by wrapping it in damp towels and placing it in their handbag. The plan fell apart when the crab decided it had enough and started clawing its way through the bag during inspection. 51. A thermos packed with rare seeds. A traveler used a thermos to hide illegal rare seeds, hoping its ordinary appearance would fool customs. Officers became suspicious when the thermos rattled oddly and found the hidden seeds. 52. A hollowed-out prosthetic arm filled with gold dust. This smuggler thought their prosthetic arm would go unnoticed, but the X-rays showed something unusual inside. Upon closer inspection, officers found it packed with gold dust. When asked why, the smuggler shrugged, saying, "It's just extra weight training." 53. A giant teddy bear stuffed with live pigeons. This oversized plush toy wasn't so cuddly after all. Inside, customs officers found several live pigeons that were taped and carefully packed. The birds were unharmed but clearly uncomfortable. Maybe the smuggler thought customs would be too charmed by the bear to notice. They weren't. 54. A baby stroller filled with exotic plants. A traveler tried to smuggle rare plants by hiding them inside a baby stroller's storage compartments. But the stroller was suspiciously heavy for something meant to carry a baby. Turns out, customs wasn't fooled by this green-thumbed smuggler. 55. A hollowed-out stack of pancakes filled with jewels. This smuggler got creative with their breakfast. They layered pancakes and hollowed-out spaces to hide stolen jewels. The plan might have worked if customs officers hadn't noticed the smell of glue holding the pancakes together. A sticky situation indeed. 56. A hollowed-out bicycle frame stuffed with ivory. This smuggler packed ivory into the frame of a bicycle, hoping to ride their way past detection. But the bike was unusually heavy, and officers quickly uncovered the scheme. Looks like they didn't pedal far with that plan. 57. A water cooler packed with illegal fish. A traveler filled a portable water cooler with illegal fish and sealed it to look untouched. The plan was foiled when officers noticed the cooler smelled like seawater instead of fresh drinking water. 58. A live eel hidden in a water bottle. This one is as bizarre as it sounds. A smuggler tried to transport a live eel by stuffing it into a water bottle. The plan unraveled when the eel started wriggling, making the bottle move. Customs officers were less than thrilled about this slippery discovery. 59. A box of chocolates with pills inside each candy. This smuggler took the phrase "sweet and dangerous" to heart. They carefully hollowed out chocolates and filled them with illegal pills, then resealed the candies. Customs officers grew suspicious when the chocolates didn't smell right. Guess their plan melted under pressure. 60. A violin case filled with snakes. No, this wasn't a mobster movie. A traveler packed several live snakes into a violin case, hoping to pass it off as an innocent musical instrument. But customs officers noticed the air holes punched into the case and quickly uncovered the slithering surprise. 61. A wig stuffed with diamonds. This smuggler thought hiding diamonds in an oversized wig was a stroke of genius. But customs officers noticed the wig looked unusually large and lumpy. After a quick inspection, they found the gems stitched into the hairpiece. I guess they wanted to shine, literally. 62. A hollowed-out loaf of salami packed with pills. This salami wasn't for a sandwich. It was for smuggling. A traveler hollowed out the sausage and stuffed it with illegal pills. The problem? Customs officers noticed the salami's odd weight and sliced right into the scheme. 63. A suitcase with false bottom drawers holding gold bars. A traveler thought they had a clever trick by installing secret compartments in their suitcase. These false bottom drawers held gold bars, but the suitcase looked far too bulky for its size. Customs officers uncovered the hidden treasure in no time. 64. A live parrot hidden inside a jacket. This smuggler zipped a live parrot into their jacket, thinking its silence would help them pass through unnoticed. But the bird let out a loud squawk at the worst possible moment, alerting everyone nearby. Talk about a feathered giveaway. 65. A hollowed-out baseball bat filled with contraband. A smuggler thought they could pass off their cargo by filling a baseball bat with illegal items. The problem? The bat felt too heavy to swing, and customs officers quickly investigated. Looks like their home run plan struck out. 66. A collection of shoes filled with rare coral. This smuggler packed rare coral into hollowed-out shoe soles. But the plan didn't last long. Customs officers spotted the oddly thick soles during inspection. Turns out, you can't walk away from coral conservation laws. 67. A live turtle taped to a person's stomach. In one of the more uncomfortable attempts, a traveler strapped a live turtle to their stomach and covered it with clothing. Customs officers became suspicious when the person looked unusually bulky. The turtle was unharmed, but the smuggler's plan definitely wasn't. 68. A hollowed-out TV packed with counterfeit cash. This smuggler packed stacks of counterfeit bills into the back of a hollowed-out flat-screen TV. The plan was almost flawless, except for one thing: the TV didn't work. Customs officers noticed the suspiciously heavy, broken TV and cracked the case. 69. A watermelon stuffed with fireworks. This smuggler decided a watermelon was the perfect hiding spot for illegal fireworks. They hollowed it out, packed the explosives inside, and resealed it. Customs officers found the fruit oddly heavy and discovered the fiery surprise. 70. A hollowed-out Bible packed with a live lizard. This smuggling attempt was equal parts odd and cruel. A traveler hollowed out a Bible and placed a live lizard inside, hoping it would go unnoticed. Customs officers quickly discovered the unusual cargo and rescued the little reptile. 71. A tube of toothpaste filled with diamonds. This smuggler emptied out a toothpaste tube and replaced the contents with tiny diamonds, then resealed it to look brand new. But customs officers noticed the tube felt unusually heavy and weren't fooled. Looks like their sparkling plan got squeezed out. 72. A hollowed-out laptop packed with drugs. Someone thought they could outsmart security by stashing drugs inside the casing of a laptop. The trick failed when officers noticed the laptop didn't turn on, and X-rays revealed the hidden stash. A high-tech fail. 73. A bottle of wine filled with gold dust. This traveler poured out wine, replaced it with gold dust, and resealed the bottle to make it look untouched. But the plan backfired when customs officers noticed the strange weight distribution. Talk about a bottle that wasn't aged to perfection. 74. A hollowed-out loaf of bread packed with live frogs. Here's a twist. A traveler stuffed live frogs into a hollowed loaf of bread, hoping the hopping cargo would go unnoticed. Customs officers found the loaf moving on its own, and the frogs were freed to leap another day. 75. A live snake hidden in a man's sleeve. This smuggler tried to sneak a live snake into the country by hiding it in their long sleeve. But when the snake started moving, officers became suspicious. The man claimed it was his emotional support snake. Sure, buddy. 76. A hollowed-out pineapple filled with rare jewels. This smuggler thought a pineapple would make a great hiding spot for rare jewels. They hollowed it out, packed it with gems, and glued the top back on. But officers noticed the pineapple didn't smell fresh, and the scheme was uncovered. 77. A fake suitcase handle packed with gemstones. A smuggler hollowed out the handle of a suitcase and filled it with gemstones. The unusual weight of the handle tipped off officers, who found the hidden treasure. 78. A car tire stuffed with cash. This smuggler thought hiding stacks of cash inside a car tire was foolproof. Unfortunately for them, officers became suspicious when the tire felt unusually heavy. The smuggler's plan? Completely deflated. 79. A bag of marbles stuffed with rare pearls. This smuggler mixed rare pearls with a bag of colorful marbles, hoping the shiny stones would go unnoticed. Customs officers decided to inspect the bag after noticing it was sealed with industrial tape, revealing the true pearls of wisdom. 80. A hollowed-out coconut packed with drugs. A traveler hollowed out a coconut, filled it with drugs, and resealed it to look untouched. Customs officers found it suspicious when the coconut didn't weigh quite right. It turns out the coconut wasn't just carrying milk, it was carrying a criminal plan. 81. Live fish hidden in plastic bags under a wig. This smuggler took hiding in plain sight to a new level. They placed small fish in water-filled plastic bags and tucked them under a giant wig. Customs officers noticed the wig looked way too lumpy and a little wet. Needless to say, the plan flopped. 82. A hollowed-out book packed with cash. A smuggler tried the old trick of hollowing out a thick book and filling it with wads of cash. Unfortunately for them, the book felt much too light for its size, and officers uncovered the hidden fortune. Looks like this story didn't have a happy ending. 83. A fake cast filled with illegal pills. A traveler faked having a broken arm and used the hollow cast to hide pills. The plan fell apart when officers noticed the cast didn't look professionally made. Turns out, their story was as flimsy as the cast itself. 84. A stuffed animal with gold coins hidden inside. A smuggler ripped open a stuffed animal, filled it with gold coins, and stitched it back together. Customs officers became suspicious when the plush toy felt unusually heavy. The smuggler's excuse? It's a weighted therapy bear. Sure it is. 85. A pair of binoculars packed with diamonds. Another attempt at turning everyday items into smuggling tools. This one involved binoculars filled with diamonds. The weight tipped off customs, and X-rays revealed the sparkling contents. They didn't see that coming. 86. A suitcase full of lizards disguised as toys. A traveler tried to pass off live lizards as plastic toys, painting them in bright colors to make them look fake. The ruse fell apart when one of the toys started moving during inspection. Nice try, but customs wasn't playing along. 87. A hollowed-out candle filled with drugs. This smuggler poured wax over a hollow center filled with drugs, creating what looked like a decorative candle. The problem? The candle weighed far more than it should have. Officers smelled something off, literally, and melted the plan away. 88. A hollowed-out baguette stuffed with pills. This smuggler thought a French baguette was the perfect hiding spot. They removed the bread's insides, stuffed it with pills, and resealed it with glue. But the odd texture of the loaf raised suspicions, and the smuggling attempt was toast. 89. A drone disguised as a children's toy. This smuggler used a bright, colorful toy drone as a cover, packing contraband into its hollow compartments. Customs officers became suspicious when the drone's parts didn't match its outer design. Their high-tech plan crashed before it even took off. 90. A hollowed-out pair of flip-flops stuffed with rare seeds. A traveler used hollow flip-flop soles to hide rare plant seeds, hoping no one would notice. But the unusual weight of the sandals caught the attention of officers who discovered the hidden cargo. Talk about a step in the wrong direction. 91. A luggage bag lined with exotic bird eggs. A traveler carefully lined the inside of their luggage with dozens of small exotic bird eggs. The smuggler wrapped each egg in soft fabric to avoid damage, but customs officers became suspicious when they saw unusual bulges in the bag's lining. The eggs were confiscated and the birds were protected. 92. A wig stuffed with rare bird feathers. Another bizarre wig smuggling attempt. This time, the wig was packed with rare bird feathers that were illegally poached. Customs officers became suspicious when the wig looked more like a bird's nest than a hairpiece. 93. A hollowed-out pumpkin filled with drugs. This smuggler packed drugs inside a hollowed pumpkin, hoping to blend in during Halloween. The officers found it suspicious that the pumpkin wasn't carved, and upon closer inspection, they uncovered the hidden stash. Spooky but sloppy. 94. A coffee thermos packed with gold nuggets. A traveler thought they could smuggle gold nuggets by stuffing them into a coffee thermos. The plan failed when the thermos set off the metal detectors. Customs officers joked, "That's one expensive cup of coffee." 95. A diaper bag filled with exotic insects. This smuggler used a diaper bag as a cover, packing it with exotic insects instead of baby supplies. Customs officers noticed the bag moving and discovered its creepy crawly contents. Safe to say, this plan stank in more ways than one. 96. A hollowed-out chair leg filled with ivory. A smuggler carved out the legs of a wooden chair and stuffed them with ivory carvings. The scheme unraveled when the chair weighed far more than a normal one. Guess they should have sat on a better idea. 97. A box of crayons with pills hidden inside. This smuggler hollowed out crayons and filled them with pills, then repackaged the box to look brand new. Customs officers noticed the crayons didn't feel right and uncovered the hidden contents. Talk about coloring outside the lines. 98. A hollowed-out dog kennel packed with cash. A smuggler shipped a dog kennel filled with hidden cash, hoping customs wouldn't inspect it. But officers noticed the kennel was missing its furry occupant and decided to take a closer look. Their plan? Barking up the wrong tree. 99. A pair of hollowed-out coconuts packed with frogs. This smuggler stuffed live frogs into 2 coconuts and sealed them back up. Customs officers grew suspicious when the coconuts started making croaking noises. The frogs were freed, and the smuggler's tropical plan fell apart. 100. A suitcase with a false bottom filled with live scorpions. This smuggler packed live scorpions into a hidden compartment at the bottom of their suitcase. The plan was flawless, until one scorpion escaped and gave an officer the fright of their life. A sting operation, quite literally. 101. A child's toy truck hiding live frogs. A traveler stuffed live frogs into the compartments of a child's toy truck, hoping the playful appearance would throw off suspicion. However, one of the frogs started croaking, blowing their cover. People will go to incredible lengths to smuggle the strangest things, but these attempts prove that no plan is foolproof. Which one shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories.